Actually, I'm seconded from Tokyo headquarters. So now I'm working in a Japanese chemical company. So it's a dispatchment from the headquarters, and it has been 6 years since I came to Singapore.
What is your expertise? I mean, the lawyers and legal, but
So currently, I am a general manager of legal and risk management division of our regional headquarters, which oversees the region, Asia Pacific region, including Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and India. So as the general manager of legal and risk management in that region, so I am working to establish a kind of legal organization network in this region. So apart from the genuine legal and compliance work, so such as reviewing contract and providing education, the interesting part of my job at this moment is to establish organization inside the region. Since when I was a student, what I was thinking is to have a global career. So for that, English is primary, but not the goal. Yeah, just to speak English will not bring the global career. So I thought I should have some expertise in me. So the field I chose was law.
Yeah. I see. But being a lawyer is quite tough.
For me, that was not so difficult, and probably I was inspired by my grandfather who liked to study law, and he wanted to be a lawyer, but his family environment didn't allow him to become lawyer. And my grandfather used to talk about how law works in a society and to help people, and so that was my first step. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That explains a lot of things because I think when you come across with a person who is very inspiring in many ways, I think that really changes or that really determines what you want to do. That's very interesting. That's a very nice story. So you are now in Singapore. They were very disciplined, and they were one of the countries, particularly in Asia, that were able to control. And that's, I think overall, Asian countries seem to be in much better shape than like in US or Europe in terms of controlling and things. But Singapore is one of the three, like South Korea, China, and Singapore, always sort of cited. So tell us a little bit about how they managed to do and what is it like to be there.
So it's very interesting country, and I'm very impressed with this country's operation. This country started with in a very difficult situation. Exiled from Malaysia, and without much people, without much resources. And at the time, the founder Lee Kuan Yew made the speech that we are under the crisis. And his message that we have to survive this crisis motivated the people, inspired people. So for Singapore, it was very important to educate people to the way that they can compete in the global society, global. So they allocate about 30% of national budget into education, and so they aim to educate people who can work anywhere in the world. So that is one thing made Singapore stronger in global society. Yeah, and it is true that it is said that the control in this country is very strict.
Yes.
So, to my opinion, under this crisis situation of COVID-19, it worked very well. And what I saw in the Singapore government is the integrity and the strong leadership. So they implemented the measures very strict. And for example, in April, Singapore moved into the stage of a kind of lockdown. They didn't like the word lockdown, so they called it a circuit breaker, but to going out from home was very restricted. So people only can go to supermarket to buy essentials, and only allowed to do jogging in neighborhood park. And for foreigners, if we breach the regulation, the consequence would be the invalidation of the working visa and exiled from this country within 24 hours. And we'll never be able to come back to Singapore. So we had no choice but to follow. But I myself and the other people are willing to follow this strong regulation because the politicians here repeatedly delivered the speech. So this is necessary to overcome this crisis. So so they implemented many measures to aid for the business, which is affected by the government measures. Yeah. And one thing we feel and we sense is Japanese government is so afraid of being criticized by implementing the strong measures. So compared to that, in Singapore, Singapore government is not afraid of being criticized because see from their statement that there are lots of discussion made in background. So we feel that Singapore government is seriously considering what is the best interest to the nation.
I see. And that's communicated to the people.
Yes.
That's quite different.
It is said strong control over the people, but strong. So I hope everyone not to misunderstand that strong control is implemented when it's necessary. So in general life, it's so free.
Oh yes, I see. I didn't know that. So you sort of get an impression that everything is so controlled. So it's much like surveillance society.
In a way, but there is there is a CCTV camera here and there around everywhere, and we are watched from government. So if we commit crime, so we would be arrested because we commit crime, and that surveillance made the crime rate very low. So the consequence is so that makes a safe country. So in this regard, I say that strong control is implemented when it's necessary.
Yes.
So as long as we live in a good way, yeah. So, so
But
they,
you build much more innovation, and innovation sort of requires some crazy people. And in the control and surveillance society, what the crazy people show up. And we talked about it for a little while. We haven't heard about it lately. How do you
yes,
see that? Yeah.
yes, I think that is true. Yeah, and for example, my company has R&D center in Singapore, and so we hire researchers, Singaporean researchers, and they are so diligent. They are
Mm,
so smart and clever,
mm.
but in a way, they cannot think out of box.
I see. Things to get a little more entrepreneurial.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I see, what is interesting in Singapore is they encourage entrepreneurship a lot. So
Mm,
they have special lectures, classes at university. So for the entrepreneurship. So there are lots of startups and there are subsidies from government as well.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
I,
So in a way, I think the government is encouraging the innovation. But
mhm.
yeah, and so especially under this lockdown state, I cannot use the word lockdown, but it's, under circuit breaker situation, I was so isolated. Yeah, because I live by myself, and only people from same household can meet together.
Right.
Means so for 3 months, I have not seen anyone in physical.
Mm,
So that brought me the opportunity to connect with people via online like this. And so I spoke to many alumni from Global Agenda. So why don't we get together? Yeah, to do the online meeting and
mm,
to discuss about current situation. So
mm,
this is a really good topic, yeah,
mm.
for global agenda. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so I cannot lay down in the isolation.
Mm,
So it's the same like Singapore, the
mm,
crisis and difficult situation
mm,
um, makes people very creative
mm. Yeah, that's
and
very true.
online. And I made friends during this circuit breaker period
Mm,
from all over the world. And so working in Singapore brought a new career for me in a way to develop the organization which we talked about.
mm,
So I got interested in having more work. So from this experience, I found that it is very important to motivate people and
mm,
to move people.
mm,
So, so to work for legal and compliance and risk management
mm,
is to get better, uh, to make organization better.
mm,
We, as a company, which manages the risk very well, and we as a company, which is compliant with laws and regulations.
I see.
So in that way, we can proud ourselves that we are an excellent company.
I see.